Today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how to enhance your learning capability. We'll have two presentations on this. So today we'll do presentation one. So hi, I am Mrs. Kern, and I teach personal finance at Harrisburg High School. I've been teaching for 18 years and have been teaching personal finance for about 10 years of those 18 years. So today's objective is this. We are going to evaluate factors when considering a job offer. So this will be really important if you want to enhance your earning power. So my first question for you is this. When considering a job offer, what is the most important factor to consider? So take a few seconds, jot down your responses. What is the most important factor to consider when considering a job offer? So now that you have those responses jotted down, what have you come up with? Has it been salary? I'm sure most of us would say it would be number one factor would be salary. But have you thought about other factors such as location, employee benefits, cost of living, and opportunity for you to advance in a new career? These all are important factors when enhancing or advancing your earning power during the course of your lifetime. So today we're going to take we're going to take a deeper look into these characteristics. Which job would you prefer? Would you prefer a job with $40,000 that you make annually or $37,000? So if you were my students without knowing any information, I'm sure the majority of your hands would raise to $40,000. We'd all would like $3,000 more, correct? I don't blame you. But before you decide on that job, you need to take a deeper look into other benefits that that particular job or career provide you. So let's look. We know that you can make $40,000 with job number one and make $37,000 with job number two. So with $40,000, what's included? There's no benefit. You get 2 paid holidays. You get 2 weeks of vacation, but you get no sick days. Now, does that look appealing? Or let's look at job offer number two. You make $37,000. What's included? You get health, dental, and vision care. You get a 401k. You get life insurance, disability insurance. You get a health club membership, tuition, if you pursue your education after high school, 8 paid holidays, 2 personal days, 5 sick days, and 2 weeks of vacation. We all love vacation, right? So if you compare that to $40,000, you also get 2 weeks of vacation there as well, but not much of anything else. So let's take a closer look at $40,000. When you get your monthly paycheck, you get your gross income, which is $3,333.34. After you minus payroll taxes and income taxes, you will notice that your net pay will be $2,625.02. Remember, health insurance is not included with job offer number one. That's going to cost you an extra $450 a month. So after health insurance is played into play here, it's going to cost you $2,175.02 for 1 month. If you took that times 12, you would make $26,100 for that particular year. Now, does that seem like a pretty good job offer, or would you like to know more that's out there? So remember, we have job offer number two. Remember, with job offer number two, you got lots of benefits. So let's go through those particular benefits, because that's really important when you're deciding on a job offer. So the most important one, if you ask anybody that's been out in the world of work, they'll tell you healthcare is probably the number one benefit that they find, that they look at when they're considering a job. Here with the $37,000, the employee pays 20% of their monthly cost of $490, which means out of your paycheck comes $98. That's it. That's just for you. When you go to the doctor, if you go to a general practice doctor, it'll cost you $10. Or if you go to a specialty doctor, it'll cost you $20, and the rest is paid up to the insurance. You can have a $200 deductible that pays 80% and 20% employee paid. The maximum annual out-of-pocket will be $800 per year, meaning that's all the more you will pay. Your insurance will, if it costs more than $800 out-of-pocket, your insurance will pay the rest. Okay, dental plan. So job offer number 2 with $37,000, 100% is paid for by the employer at a cost of $47.12. It covers 100% of preventive care and 80% of minor restoration and 50% of major restoration, meaning they won't pay more than $1,000 each year for those expenses. Still a pretty good plan. Then you have vision care. 100% is paid by the employer at a cost of $10.33 per month. It pays for eye exams, pays for 1 eye exam a year, lenses every year, and frames every 2 years. Then let's talk about 401k or retirement. I know many of you at this age or stage in your life probably aren't thinking much about retirement, but I promise you from many years of experience, it goes by rather fast. And when you're investing or looking at retirement, there are 3 components that you need. It's the actual principal amount, it's the interest rate, but the one factor that plays most important, particularly for you at your age, is time. The more time you have, the better off you are, and the more money you will have in the end. So let's look at this. Their 401k or the retirement program, the employee puts 5% of the pre-tax salary into a 401k, and the company will match 50% of it. So at the end of the year, the employee has $2,775 saved for retirement. This excludes any income or investment gains. So the $2,775, how they come to that figure is $1,850 was paid by you and $925 was paid for by your employer. Life insurance. 100% is paid by the employer at a cost of $9.80 a month. This gives the employee $92,500 in life insurance and AD&D insurance. Accidental death and dismemberment insurance provides a payment to beneficiaries in case of an accident. If the insured has both life and AD&D insurance and dies as a result of an accident, both coverages are paid to the beneficiaries. Also, a percentage of the death benefit will be paid if the accident causes a covered loss other than death, such as a loss of speech, hearing, or a loss of a limb. Okay. Let's go to disability insurance. Job offer number 2 will provide some disability insurance. 100% again is paid for by the employer. A disabled employee will get about 66–67% of the base salary for the length of disability after a 6-week waiting period. Short-term coverage is usually funded directly by the employer, and then there's a 2-week waiting period usually. But again, the cost is paid for by the employer. So I hope this is ringing a bell to you. There's some awesome benefits being sponsored by this job offer number 2. So maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe job offer 2 is better. Let's keep going. You get a health club benefit. The employer will reimburse the employee for up to $50 a month toward the cost of health club membership. And then one that many of my students would be really interested in is tuition reimbursement. You can get into a company that offers this, you've got one leg up. The employer will reimburse up to $5,000 a year in graduate credit courses, subject to getting a passing grade, meaning you have to pass the class in order to get reimbursed for that course. This is a very enticing benefit, especially with the rising cost of tuition. It can be extremely expensive, and if your employer will help sponsor that, they're putting an investment into you as well. Some other benefits offered by job offer number 2. You get employer offers flex time, meaning that they are flexible with your time. Maybe if you need the morning off, they are willing to give you the morning off if you're willing to work a couple hours or so later in the evening work weekends, things like that. You have the option to work home remotely if you wish. You get company discounts, meaning if you shop at Costco, if you go to the movie theaters, since you're an employee for that job offer number 2, they give you discounts as well, usually 5, 10, 15, 20%. If you live in a larger city, sometimes they will give you subsidized transportation passes and parking, especially in inner cities where parking is extremely difficult. That's a nice benefit. You get EAP programs, you get healthcare expense account, and dependent care expense account. And usually what the healthcare and dependent care expense account means is that you can put money aside for healthcare and dependent care, for me, daycare. That is taxed, doesn't get taxed, which is really nice, especially for working parents. Daycare can be really expensive. When I had 2 kids in daycare, it cost me $1,000 a month. So it was nice to have that money set aside and that wasn't taxed. So let's take a closer look again. Your annual salary for job offer for $37,000. Remember, your gross pay was about $3,000. Your Medicare tax, Social Security, payroll taxes there. Your state income tax, federal income taxes are listed. Now keep in mind there are a few states here in the United States that do not offer state income tax, and so that's something else to keep in mind. But a majority of the states still do, so for this scenario, we're going to say that they have state income tax. 401k, your retirement, you take out $154, or you add it to that, I should say. And then the medical plan costs $98. So once you add all those benefits to your gross income, you will notice that you have $2,235.72. Actually, these are expenses. So if you take $43.29, $185, $81, $285.20, your $154, and your $98, this is the amount that your employer is going to deduct from your paycheck. So if you look at your net income will be $2,235.72. That gives you a net income, if you take that times 12 months, $26,828.64. So we looked at job offer number 1, $40,000, and we looked at job offer number 2, which is $37,000. So if you compare those two, the monthly net income is $60.70 greater than the monthly net income of the $40,000 salary if you assume that the health insurance is purchased with the $40,000. So if you look here, if you look at the benefits that employer number 2 is offering for $37,000, you will notice that they're offering the health care again, the dental, the vision, the 401k, the life insurance, disability, health club benefit, and tuition. We know if you take all those benefits and if you were to give a dollar figure to it, it would be over $12,000. So the economic value of benefits is equal to 33% of the $37,000 annual salary or gross income total of $49,217. If you exclude the tuition reimbursement, the economic value of benefits is equal to 20% of the $30,000 annual salary or gross income total of $44,217. So looking at that benefit package, it looks pretty enticing. I would say job offer number 2 offers quite a bit of benefits that would entice a lot of potential employers, or employees, I should say. So let's go back to the question I posed to you at the beginning. So would you take the salary of $40,000 or would you take the salary of $37,000? I'm sure many of you, most of you are saying, you know, the salary of $37,000 a year is probably the best bet, and you are correct. Something to keep in mind is if tuition reimbursement is not included, the net income is $26,100 versus $34,046, or 30% greater. So I think I will choose option B. I will take the job for $37,000. So to summarize, just remember, benefits are a form of income. You need to look at the benefits when accepting a job offer, because when you add those benefits, sometimes it might make your decision more obvious. Benefits are extremely valuable to a potential employee, especially We talked about many of them. For me, as a mother, I would say that the healthcare is probably the most enticing. Benefits can be very expensive. We added all those together. Remember, they were over $12,000. And make sure that you understand the benefits that come with your job. I hope today you learned a little bit about how you can enhance your learning potential by looking at the benefits offered by a job. Thank you.